Hey everyone, my name is Peter K, and I'm a professional coach who trains candidates for their consulting case interviews. Since 2017, I have conducted 4,000 coaching sessions and assessed 1,000 candidates. There is a lot of information out there that might feel overwhelming when you are trying to decide if you should apply for management consulting. This short series of videos is designed for MBA students to help you navigate this decision making process. I did my best to make it as short as possible as everyone nowadays is extremely busy and don't have much time. There are three videos, 5 to 9 minutes each. They are on the point and immediately applicable. A quick caveat. This video is not about how to get ready with your case interview. This is about whether management consulting is for you or not. Let's start. Before even going into details about consulting, let's cover some superficial aspects of this profession that might be great decision-making criteria for you. First, salary. In order to manage your salary expectations, here is the data for full-time post-MBA roles in 2020. You will get a base salary of about 150 to 165,000 plus 30-40,000 in annual bonus. So your annual salary is going to be around $200,000. Now, make a decision if this meets your expectations or not. You also would like to consider a signing bonus of 25-30,000 and perks like free meal and free Uber Lyft. Given that you're going to travel a lot, you will also get a lot of miles or points for flights and hotel bookings. If going into consulting means you will take a pay cut, you might want to consider how your compensation will progress over time. This is the data for McKinsey, but other consulting firms should be similar. Please keep in mind that each role takes about 1 year or 1.5 years, except for associate principal, where you might spend about 3 years. Also, consulting firms revisit their salary levels from time to time. For example, McKinsey, Bain, BCG, and other top consulting firms increased their salaries by 15% in 2019. All else being equal, during the first 5 years at McKinsey, your salary will grow by 5 to 10% annually. Consulting will sharply change your lifestyle. Consultants typically work 12 to 14 hours a day. That means that quite often you won't have time to have dinners with friends or go out in the evenings. The vast majority of the catch up with friends and family will move to weekends. Most consulting firms expect you to travel to where the client is. That means that you leave on Sunday evening or Monday early morning and come back on Thursday evening. Think about if it is important for you to sleep in your own bed every night and see your partner every morning and evening. Talk to them about it. Lots of time pressure typically leads to unhealthy eating habits. It might be usual to gain weight while working in consulting. You can mitigate this obviously by following strict rules about your meals. If you are a frequent gym goer, it might become a challenge to find time to keep your workouts. That's especially a challenge if you are not on the local project and fly to the client every week. The recruiting process has some aspects you might want to add to your decision-making process as well. First, there are not that many opportunities to get into consulting. The consulting firms have several established recruiting channels through which they attract talent. MBA students is one of them. Once you graduate from the business school, this opportunity window will close for you. The chance to get into consulting after the graduation is quite limited. It is almost non-existent for generalist consultants. If you have multiple year experience in a specific industry, you can try to apply during so-called off-cycle recruiting after your graduation, as consulting firms sometimes look for experts in specific verticals and functions. However, the number of openings for experienced hires is typically not that high. Please keep in mind that there are only two recruiting windows that are typically in September, October, and November, January. Interviews for consulting usually require a lot of preparation. It starts with a lot of networking with the consulting firms. Some firms are particularly strict about it. For example, if you don't show up to any networking events with Bain, BCG, or Deloitte, there is almost zero chance you will be invited for an interview with these firms. To get comfortable with cases, you might need to hit 30-35 cases and do a lot of drill exercises. This might take you up to 40 hours in total. To put things into perspective, if you are applying for an internship and it is mid-October today, that means you have about 12 weeks before your interviews in January. So you might need to allocate 6-8 hours a week for your interview prep, which might feel like a second job. For international MBA students, keep in mind that different firms have different visa sponsorship policies. You might want to deprioritize the firms that don't sponsor H-1B. And finally, the competition. Here are the recruiting cycle results for consulting firms for Haas. MBB means McKinsey, Bain, and BCG. More than 100 Haas MBA students, both full-time and evening and weekend, apply for the roles at consulting firms every year. 30-35 of them get internship, and usually internships are converted into full-time offers later. Around 15 Haases get full-time offers without internships. Now, the best strategy to get into consulting is through the internship, as firms are willing to give out more offers, and about 1/3 of applicants get them. The chances are halved for the full-time offers without internships. Now, the numbers for evening and weekend program are far lower. First, usually only 30 and 40 evening and weekend students apply. And secondly, because of their jobs, evening and weekend students have limited time to come to networking events, and networking is crucial in order to secure interviews with consulting firms. Now, take a moment to look through these quick decision-making criteria and check if you feel comfortable with them. The next two short videos will give you more context about what a typical consulting project is and provide some extra factors to consider in your decision to apply for consulting. If you already know that consulting is for you, then go ahead and sign up for online learning portal at peterkthinkific.com. It is smartphone and tablet friendly. You will find everything you need to prepare for a consulting case interview there: online courses, quizzes to test your knowledge, drill exercises to boost your casing competencies, most recent real consulting cases, and much more. I did my best to make this video as valuable as possible, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to show your support by giving this video a like, subscribing to the channel, and turning on notifications for the channel as well, as this all does help me out and I really appreciate it. Also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you so much, everyone, and I will see you next time.